nice start to our morning. Welcome Monte Vista and to all of you on Zoom. Thank you for joining us. I'm Limria Smith, Vice President of the Board of Trustees of Monte Vista Unitarian Universalistic Congregation, or MVUUC for short. First of all, we'd like to thank everyone who supported the fundraising Task Force Summer Sizzler last week. It was a tremendous success. We raised $1,413. Thanks to all who helped set up and clean up, and Becky with her spectacular drinks, and the M&M barbecuers, that would be Mark and Murray who flipped the burgers. Our next semi-annual fundraising event will be on Saturday, October 12th, and it's the 18th, excuse me, the Fall Holiday Fest. And it is a little different from our last semi-annual fundraiser. It's going to include arts, crafts, homemade jams, jelly, candy, knitted crocheted items, sewn items. So what we have now is a form we'd like you to fill out if you would like to donate any of these items, whatever you're skilled at, making things, jams, all the little extra things that maybe you have a talent we don't know about. So we have a form we'd like you to fill out so that we have enough table space. And that's going to be on the back table. Oops, excuse me. And for our next luncheon, Mark and Murray are going to give a little, Bob and Murray are going to give a little introduction.
The news?
Good morning. What news? I try to avoid that.
The MVUC is going Hawaiian on Sunday, August 3rd. It's our LUU.
Wow! Luau!
I guess that's it then, our Luau Hawaiian-themed luncheon.
Pulled pork, spam, macaroni salad, pineapples. There's got to be pineapples.
Yeah, plus jackfruit and the Kokomo cocktail bartender Becky Pettit that will be behind her blender displaying her mixology skills with drinks like Mai Tais and Blue Hawaiian drinks, all for $5 per drink.
This fundraiser must cost a small fortune to attend, right?
No, in the spirit of the LUU wow, we are keeping it at $25.
See you under the palms
on August 3rd.
It's actually August 2nd.
No, it's the 3rd.
Oh, on my script it says the 2nd.
It's a typo. Thank you, Murray and Bob. And now, Reverend Maggie.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It is good to be together here this morning. I'd also like to welcome those who are joining us on Zoom and for those who will watch the video recording later. Just no extra announcements for me, except we forgot to sing to the July babies. So yeah, see how excited it is? With the 4th of July, and then last week we had our barbecue. Everything was all busy and we never got to do it. So who's got a birthday in July? Look at us all. Oh yeah, in fact we have 3 people who shared a birthday yesterday, right? Amy, Debbie, and Betsy. All the same year, all the same day, right? No, no, but yeah, so let's all sing together, and in the place of the name, we'll just say July babies, and that'll cover everybody, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And thank you so much to everybody that surprised me with the cake last week, because my birthday was on the 14th. But we had a cake last Sunday, and there's still some left, and we're going to share it after the service today. We open our service with the sounding of the bells for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We begin with an acknowledgement of our regard and our honor for the Tongva and other native peoples on whose ancestral homelands we stand today. And we call to the ancestors of this faith, to the ancestors of our congregation, and to the ancestors of each of our hearts. We extend a safe, warm gratitude for all who are gathered here today and who are visiting with us online. And for those who will come, we prepare this place for you here and invite you to join us. May it be so. I invite everyone to stand now as we sing our welcoming song, which is Come, Come, Whoever You Are, number 188 in our gray hymnals. As a symbol of our faith, we light a chalice at each of our gatherings that represents the spirit, the values, and the rich history of Unitarian Universalism. Its flame invites us to center our lives in love and service, and it holds us in community and offers us belonging. As I invite Lily to come and light our chalice this morning, let's hear the words from Eric Wickstrom in his reading entitled, The Stars in the Pews. Each of the stars in the heavens is unique and individual, yet together they form the night sky. Yeah, twist it. Yeah, you got it. Each of us here is unique and individual, yet together we are a congregation. Each of our congregations is unique and individual, yet together we are an association. For the stars in the sky and the people in the seats, for members of our association, and in gratitude, we light our chalice. Now let's sing our invocation, our anthem, Spirit of Life. I invite you to stand again. Get you working out. We'll sing Spirit of Life, first verse in English, second in Spanish, and then we'll read our covenant aloud together.
Rise in the sea.
before we begin to read our covenant, let me just explain, because we have some visitors here today, that Unitarian Universalism is not a creedal faith. In other words, we don't tell people what to believe, but we do speak a covenant to one another about our relationship and how we will be together and how we will belong together. These are the words that we've chosen. We affirm that love is the greatest purpose of this congregation. The search for truth is our constant star, and service is our prayer. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to make choices for a healthier planet, and to live out our Unitarian Universalist values every day as beloved community. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. Please be seated. As we have our wisdom tale brought to us by Robert Tidwell.
Good morning, everybody. Our story today is called Many Threads Make a Blanket, and it's by Tara Humphreys. A close-up of colorful woven fabric. The warp and weft are visible. The warp is uniform throughout and is a shiny pale red. The weft is different on almost every row, and each row looks like it might be a shoelace. The shoelaces are solid colors: black, blue, gray, brown, lime pink, except for the center row, which is a multicolored pattern. I want to tell you the story about a group of people not in some far-off remote village, but in an apartment building in a bustling city. It was one of those apartment buildings that's so big that most people who live there don't even know that the neighbors, or don't even know their neighbors on their floor. Maybe they know someone across the hall or right next door, but more often than not, people travel through the hallways with headphones on their faces, glued to their phones. Raise your hand if you've ever lived in an apartment building before. Many of us have. Some of us still do. We have lots of experience with this. Okay, so the people that everybody in this particular building knew were Lee and Sal. They lived on the 6th floor at the end of the hallway, and they were always out and about. Lee always wore a purple cap, and Sal was always chipper. They both greeted folks by name, asked how they were doing, and even remembered the children's birthdays. One day, after Lee and Sal hadn't been around for a few days, a neighbor from the 6th floor bumped into Sal in the stairwell. Sal was not their usual chipper self, and actually looked quite sad. The neighbor asked Sal how they were doing, and Sal shared that their beloved Lee had passed away. A gifted listener, the neighbor had a conversation with Sal about their grief and about how Sal felt as if the blanket of warmth and love that used to wrap around them, that was Lee's presence, was gone. As the neighbor continued on their way after the conversation, they had an idea. They could make Sal a grief blanket, a dark, warm cloak to wrap around them during their time of mourning. They knew some churches had knitting ministries, so why couldn't they be their own knitting ministry? When they returned to their home on the 6th floor that evening, they pulled out their old wooden loom and began rummaging around for fibers, fabrics, threads, and yarns. Not only could they not find anything in black, they couldn't find anything at all. But they remembered that they had seen a young man in the lobby knitting the other day, someone they recognized from floor 6. If he has a yarn, maybe he has fabric or thread or something that will make a blanket. The weaver asked the knitter, who didn't have any black fabric but did have some red yarn, and he knew someone from the 7th floor who sewed. He was excited to both give some of his yarn to this effort, knowing and loving Lee and Sal himself, and also pass along the message to the sewer. The 7th floor sewer was sad to hear about Sal's loss. She had loved Lee too, and she didn't have anything black, but she did have some yellow fabric. She was happy to contribute what she had, and she had a friend on the floor 2 with a small child who always had the cutest little boiled wool shoes, and they looked homemade, so she offered to ask if they had any spare wool. The 2nd floor family were indeed into boiled wool crafts. They had always admired Lee's purple boiled wool cap, and they were so sad to learn about Lee's death and thrilled to contribute to the blanket. They did indeed have extra wool to share. It was purple, not black, but there was plenty of it. The 2nd floor family asked their neighbor, who asked their friends on a different floor, and soon enough the sixth floor weaver had an apartment full of fabrics of all kinds, yarns and threads and mystery materials, definitely enough to make a blanket. None of it was black, but they were sure Sal would understand. So they got to work on their loom, and they wove from side to side while building mats, and they'd never met before and mates that they'd never met before dropped by to see how it was going. As they wove, they got to know their neighbors better. Grown-ups, kids, elders. It was like an unexpected open house. They swapped stories and reflected on their love of Sal and Lee. Eventually, the blanket was complete. The weaver held it up. It was lumpy and bumpy and crooked, and it contained every pattern imaginable, every color on the rainbow. It wasn't what they had imagined giving Sal, but as they held it in their hands, they knew it was just right. The next day, the weaver knocked on Sal's door, and Sal came to the door, wrapped in a black fleece blanket. The weaver, seeing Sal had already had a grief blanket, began to move the lumpy, bumpy rainbow garment behind their back, embarrassed, until Sal's face lit up, and they exclaimed, "What is that?" "It's for you," the weaver said, holding it out to Sal. "We made it for you, so you'd be wrapped in love by, well, all of us." "All of us?" Sal asked. "All of us," said the weaver. In the end, every single apartment in the entire building had contributed something to the blanket. Sal was delighted. "Lee would have loved this," they said, still in disbelief that so many people not only knew who they were, but contributed to make such a precious gift. They knew the road of grief would be long and winding, but realized that, though they lost their beloved companion, they were wrapped in the love of an entire community with all its lumps, bumps, patterns, and colors, and life felt possible again. One time, as Sal emerged from their grief, they noticed that not only were they better connected with their neighbors, but their neighbors were more deeply connected to each other. And for the first time since losing Lee, they did not feel alone. Thank you. And now if the kids can come up and get our chalice, you guys can sing us to class.
Have a great time. Thank you all for your many, many generous gifts of the heart that you offer, knowing that each is essential to our strength and our growth and our sustainability. We offer gratitude for all that each of us brings to maintain our communal, financial, and spiritual well-being. Our congregation has agreed to donate 50% of the donation plate offerings that are not earmarked as pledges with a charity that aligns with our values. For the month of July and August, we are pleased and joyful to share our plate with the Immigration Defenders Law Center, Southern California's largest nonprofit deportation defense organization. They offer free legal services to immigrants facing deportation, including unaccompanied minors and deported veterans. So it is with abundant gratitude that our offering will now be given and received. Wow. Thank you, Lily. Thank you so much. So beautiful. Whew. One of the ways that we live out our relationship here at Monte Vista is to share the joys and concerns that come into our lives that are things that we want to share with one another. I have one that was written, we do have these papers in the back for when you come in the front door there, where you can write down things you want shared with the congregation. This is a lovely one from Betsy, who had her birthday yesterday. She says, "This past week, I posted a fundraiser on Facebook for my birthday for the first time. It was to benefit National Public Radio, and it made $500. Yeah. Thank you, Betsy. That was great. I saw it and I went, ah. And I didn't get to join yet. I hope it's still up. But she says, I'm so thankful to everyone who helped. So thank you. Thank you to everyone. And there is one event that's in our community that I just want to share that's a very deep sorrow, that the Sheriff's Department for Los Angeles County lost 3 officers in a mistake, an error that happened in one of their training facilities for explosives. And these men, 3 of them, I forget what the number is for their combined numbers of years of service with the Sheriff's Department and the number of children that they all had, but it's very heartbreaking. They were men of great experience, and it'll probably be a long time before they understand exactly what happened, but yeah. So we share our joys and our sorrows, and for all of those that are left unspoken, we hold a moment for those as well. I invite you to join me in a time of prayer. This is a prayer written by one of my colleagues, and it's called A Prayer of Risk. Holy oneness of many names, the breath and spirit of life, today we remember to breathe deeply, to rest, to take in the sense of belonging and nourishment that we need, and to pause before we speak or act. And then to take in another deep breath, poised on the edge, and risk jumping in. Risk taking action. Risk speaking up. Risk using the gifts that we've been given. Oh, that our lives can be a blessing of service. May we begin to offer the gift of our awakened presence, filled to overflowing with love and light today, as we lift up the prayers of our hearts into the silence. And in the quiet of these moments, let us take in a common breath and unclench, open to each other and to the holy. We embrace the present here in the quiet, joined with each other and with the freshness of love and the grace of small treasures, with hope and with faith. Here in this quiet, may we sense a deepening gratitude for the gifts we have to bring and to open and to offer. And let's remain seated as we sing our gentle song, How Could Anyone? That always makes me want to cry. My eyes well up. Ah, so lovely. We have another prayer in the from the folks in the Zoom chapel here. It comes from Robin Longfield. She writes, my dear friend James, who is bravely facing the beginning of the end of his journey into the world. Aw. Yeah, we hold James in our hearts and prayer. Thank you, Robin, for sharing that. This morning's reading is one we'll do together. We'll all present it together as we share. It's a responsorial reading. It's called We Are Called to Pay Attention, and it's inspired by the words of Amanda Udis Kessler. So the words of the title will also be the words that we speak in unison. So let's practice. We are called to pay attention. Okay. This morning and every morning, we are called to pay attention. We are called to pay attention to our individual lives, our delights and our pains. We are called to understand and cherish ourselves and to take good care of ourselves, to know ourselves as loving and worthy of love. In paying attention to our lives, we give thanks for all that is good, and we work to make the best decisions we can to live well, joyfully, today and all days. We are called to pay attention. We are called to pay attention to the people in our lives and to celebrate their joys with them and to tend to them in their struggles. We are called to bring our kind compassion and patience to our relationships with gratitude for the love that others show to us. And in paying attention to the people in our lives, we give thanks for their presence, and we work to support them to the best of our abilities. Throughout our lives, we are called to pay attention. We are called to pay attention to the society in which we live, to understand the ways in which all lives are made harder by political and economic policies that value some people over others. In paying attention to our society, we give thanks for the many people who are working for justice, and we join in serving with them so that all people are treated with dignity. So in all that we do, we are called to pay attention. And we are called to pay attention to the natural world around us, to understand how our decisions to help the natural world to flourish or cause it harm. We give thanks for the ways it sustains and enriches our lives, and we commit to living sustainably so that all beings have the chance to thrive and celebrate the planet and its gifts. The demands of justice call us to pay attention, and as we do, we bless ourselves, each other, our society, and the world. We are called to pay attention. Yes, we are. And now let's pay attention to Lily as she offers us special music. Thank you, that was beautiful. Did I hear a little Beatles in there? There's a little flavor. Oh, Mozart. Okay. Yeah. One of the most memorable texts from the studies required of me while working on my Master of Divinity while in seminary at Drew University's Theological School was the writing of Daguerre elder Malidoma Somé. In his book, Ritual, Power, Healing, and Community, that was published in 1997. This text has so much to say about the value of ritual and how its absence from our lives depletes the nourishment that our spirit longs for, and creates a lack of honor for who we are, or who our ancestors are, and what our individual gifts are, the gifts that open into purpose in our lives. Our perception that we are separated from our truest core and our sacred identity creates a loss of soul and a waning of our sense of purpose. So May, who died in 2021 at only 65 years old, teaches that where ritual is absent, the young ones are restless or violent. There are no real elders, and the grown-ups are bewildered. Where ritual is absent, the future is dim. You hear a description of our current experience in this world from his book of over 31 years ago. We know that ritual changes things. Ritual balances the energies of having to carry a heavy concern and doing something to be able to set it down. It brings the awareness, the exhale, the contentment that we have acted and done what we could to seek help and to search the spiritual realms of possibility for a positive outcome where we would have otherwise felt inadequate or helpless. But there is always something we can do. And bringing our true selves into ritual is always a meaningful way to push forth that energy that comes from the angst we sometimes feel when we wish we could do something, anything. Ritual does change things, and it changes us. We enter it as one who seeks, one who is willing to bring our own soul's unique expression, and we leave it as one who receives. And we leave with a sense of fulfillment and an acknowledgement of our individual contribution, and the comfort of knowing that we took action to affect positive outcomes. Beyond the butterfly effect, your participation has the impact of enhancing the outcome of the entire encounter. Here with a specific purpose, and each and every one of us has a unique gift to bring. There's a YouTube video of Malidoma Somé. In it, he's teaching that no one comes into this world for no reason. We come here carrying a gift and a purpose, and that purpose is to deliver the gifts that we brought with us. Our very lives are the gifts that we bring into the world, and we bring them into ritual each Sunday as we gather here in our sanctuary. It is our gift to each other to see that sacredness, that giftedness within all that you meet, and to reflect that to them and connect them with it. Or perhaps, better stated, reconnect them with it. Because in so many ways, in these unusual times, many of us are stunned by a constant barrage of trauma. New, out of the blue, life-changing events that come with a new perception of how hard life can be. We are almost like zombies because of it all. Numbskulls of sorts, completely off track from any remembrance of our sacred worth and the purpose of our lives here on earth. We are worn thin. We've forgotten that we're sacred beings with inherent worth and dignity. tinybuddha.com posted a new word on their social media page. Let me try this. It's kind of like supercalifragilistic, but it's exhausterwhelmulated. And they define that as being exhausted, overwhelmed, and overstimulated simultaneously. Show of hands. Yeah. Oh, some go way up. Yeah. We are that. But We are also sacred beings of great worth and dignity, filled with the gifts that are needed right now. And this is not just your minister who loves you, pumping you with holy compliments and giving your soul a spa day. No, no, but I am here to shine a light on true things, especially what has always been true and despite all that we're going through, so that you can be your beautiful you. And while I do intend to always remind you of who you really are, we have our UU values also to do that alongside our words to each other and my words to you. Jaryus, there was an image that I had texted you. Do you have it? There you go. Thank you. Can you guys see that? You can't read it. I'll be reading what it says on it. This is from Blessed Bee Clothing. It's an online resource for all things UU. They have clothing and books and all kinds of bling that's UU stuff. So these are 2 shirts, and I'd like you to let their description fall gently on you and to be who you feel you are. It is a definition of you, beautiful you. The one on the left says, holy and whole and sacred and enough and beloved and grateful and abundant and centered in love. And underneath love it says Unitarian Universalism. The other one, the other t-shirt has more of a graphic design. Oh, there it is. Church of the Open Minds, see the brain? The Loving Hearts and the Helping Hands. Unitarian Universalism, it says up at the top. Let's let these words fall on us gently, and let's hold them close to us and remind us so deeply and so tenderly that we know without a doubt that they're true. And that is this faith. This faith is where we find our belonging and our healing. And that this faith is exactly what the world needs us to be. And that this faith might be what others need right now too. May it be so. And in this small yet important book of Let Your Life Speak, Parker Palmer also asks us to answer this one very important question. It's worth revisiting in times of change like we find ourselves in right now. Is the life I'm living the same as the life that wants to live in me? I hear Palmer's question also phrased another way. Am I being my true self, true to myself, and offering the gifts that are mine to bring into life at this time? And what a privilege to be able to answer yes. But I would probably ask you that we leave room to answer differently at different times. And I know I would want room to allow the question to tumble around inside of me now and again. I'd want to leave the way open for new lives to open the road ahead. To always be on the search for the life that wants to live in me now. We can always find the life that wants to live in us by staying close to Spirit and by embracing the things that give us life and letting go of what drains our energies and causes harm in any way or diminishes us or someone we love. But we can find the life that wants to live through us by listening more closely to the voice of our true self. Letting go of that voice that has a long history of criticism and putting extra demands on us. As we live more deeply into our own identity and integrity, each becoming more comfortable with becoming beautiful. And we find both personal fulfillment and our deeper place in the community where we belong. And how beautiful that it's not a clearly marked path, but one that requires an inward journey. Becoming our latest and greatest version of your beautiful you is a going through process, not something we discover once or keep seeking to achieve, only to be stuck for all time, but it's an ongoing and unfolding inquiry with all kinds of juicy learning along the way. Being you is big and consequential and unending, and so is our deepening. We can all be awed by what we are in the midst of right now, because as hard as it is, and as hard as it might become yet, we are called by the gifts of the unfolding life that wants to keep living in us. And our task is to grab hold of every opportunity to contribute to the way through all of this, for this world that we all love so much, and our divine relationship to everything that is underway. We will continue to show up with the greatest of all possible intention, to show up as love. May it be so. And amen. Yeah. Let's stand and sing our sending song. You'll recognize the music. It was used to be called Standing on the Side of Love. It's now called Answering the Call of Love. It's really a beautiful song. I love the lyric. Let's read our unison benediction to one another as we bless each other. As we close our time together and extinguish our chalice flame, we invite its light to illuminate the way ahead we cannot yet see, to shine through each of us so that we can serve as a light in this world that there's much about. Beautiful. Let's enjoy the postlude. And our closing words come from Parker Palmer, who says, "Our deepest calling is to grow into authentic selfhood, whether or not it conforms to some image of who we thought to be. But as we do, we will not only find the joy that every human being seeks, we will also find our path of authentic service in the world." Take that one to the bank. Let's have coffee.